The state of Manipur has witnessed another wave of violence. Last year, more than 200 people were killed in ethnic violence that has rendered thousands homeless. The state administration, led by Chief Minister Biren Singh, was severely criticized for his handling of the entire crisis. There were calls for the Chief Minister to resign, especially after a horrific video of women being paraded naked during the clashes went viral. The Supreme Court also took cognizance and constituted a committee to oversee the humanitarian aspects of the ethnic violence in the state.
Mr. Modi's silent support for these kind of things shows that how hatred is in his mind, and without Mr. Modi's support, the Manipur Chief Minister, who heads the hate campaign in Manipur, can't do these kind of things. Manipur is completely mishandled by Modi, Amit Shah and the union government, and they are refusing to dismiss the Chief Minister of Manipur, who is the person who is leading that hate itself.
The latest wave of violence involves a series of attacks since the beginning of the month of September, which has until now claimed almost a dozen lives. What's been shocking is the manner in which these attacks have occurred, including the deployment of drones. On the 1st of September, 2 villagers were killed in an attack on 2 villages in Imphal West district. On the 2nd of September, there were drone attacks on the India Reserve Battalion bunkers. On the 6th of September, a 70-year-old priest was killed in a rocket attack near the home of the first Chief Minister of Manipur, Mairembam Koireng, in Bishnupur. This was followed by a gunfight on the 7th of September between 2 groups in Jiribam. In fact, the turn of events prompted BJP MLA R.K. Imo Singh, who is the son-in-law of the Chief Minister N Biren Singh, asking the Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah to replace the contingent of 60,000 central forces deployed in the state, as he claimed they were mute spectators. There's also been a demand for a unified command under the control of the state government to handle the law and order situation.
Total collapse of law and order in Manipur, and the Prime Minister is happily, blissfully ignoring Manipur. Does he think Manipur does not belong to India? It only belongs to India during elections, and after that he is happily ignoring Manipur? The Prime Minister needs to come out and give certain answers.
Collecting the various evidences in the form of various drones that we have picked up, and also all the forensic kind of things that are left behind at the bombing sites by a forensic team. And we will be most likely handing over these very important cases to national investigating agencies. We have recovered all those bomb fragments and all those things. So why did they send to the forensic lab all the chemicals that are used? All those things and many other things will be detected.
Times Now's Priyank Tripathi has been in Manipur tracking the situation on the ground.
Manipur CM N Biren Singh is right now entering the Raj Bhavan, where he is expected to give a memorandum to the governor of Manipur, Lakshman Acharya, after speculations that he could put in his paper, which has totally been denied by the state government sources. N Biren Singh is right now going to meet the governor. There are very important pointers which N Biren Singh would be putting forward before the governor, which include unified command, because the state government wants a unified command to be put in their hand. The state government wants all the powers to be given in their hands so that they can control the situation, which is certainly escalating. What N Biren Singh and his cabinet is also expected to tell it to the governor, that there are external forces which is behind these kind of drone attack and the kind of ammunition which is being received by these militants from the other community, is certainly something which can make things more complex. In this, changing situation, the movement of the Chief Minister of the state towards the governor's house, giving a memorandum that they want a unified command, is making very important political move. What is going to happen next is going to be seen, but this memorandum will be further on submitted before the Home Ministry. Tear shells being lobbed from all the corner is certainly something which can be seen on the ground. Since the time the student protesters had given a call that ultimatum was given by them, this scene has become so common. From every corner, from all these government vehicles, we can see that students are being charged by the police team. On the other side, if we would zoom in, the usage of the students here is certainly something. The tear shell has just exploded. Right now, the police team is trying to disperse them, but amidst that, we have seen that how the students have been throwing stones on the police team. On the other side, police, which is camping here, has been continuously shelling tear shells on the student protesters. Situation is still tense here. You can see that after many tear shells being lobbed by the police officers, now the students have come here with these metal blocks, and these stones are being thrown on the police team. The impact is such that since more than half an hour, this area is filled with tear shells. What rapid action forces have also been, trying to do is to keep these student protesters away. Look at this. These students have come here. The irony is that a young student from schools being used for these protests is certainly a very wrong thing, which can be seen on the ground here in the state capital of Imphal. There's a vehicle which is also attempted to be blocked on the flyover by these protesters. They were below the flyover, but because of this kind of impact of these tear shells, they came up with this metal blockage which can stop the tear shells being lobbed by the police officers. And you can hear on my background, everywhere from all the corners, what we can hear is tear shells. What we can see is the smoke of the tear shell. What we can also see that the police officers trying to control the situation on the ground. But certainly, who is behind it, who has been provoking students to satisfy the political agenda is certainly something which need to be seen on the ground. It's a very chaotic scene right here, very near to the governor's house, because after the ultimatum ended, the 24 hours ultimatum ended for those students who were there inside the women's market, the Asia's biggest women's market, they attempted to move, and now you have all these Casper vans, which are bulletproof vans, these bulletproof vehicles of the local police charging on the student protesters. Most of them are juvenile, young. Is very shocking and alarming to be seen.
Given the scale and magnitude of the violence witnessed in Manipur in 2 waves in 2 years, there's been serious criticism of the Chief Minister N Biren Singh.
Despite what we've seen, the Chief Minister come out and say in terms of normalcy, assuring that everything would be restored to normal. The violence is continuing. What is the underlying cause of the resurgence of this violence in your view?
Well, I think he had said that within 6 months he will restore the normalcy. Whether it's 6 months, I think probably he said within 4 months. 4 months, normalcy is coming. He said blah, 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 all this thing. Now, saying is something, and converting into action is something else. And as things has developed, I mean, it was just only a claim. Nothing of that sort happened. Attack by the cookies through drone and the use of missiles. That was the ultimatum in a way, in a sense. Earlier, there was exchange of fire and all these things, which took place, but still people, particularly from the Meitei side, people took it. But the latest attack through drone and through missiles, this has made the people living in the valley, particularly the Meiteis, but it's not only the Meiteis, the other ethnic groups other than Meiteis, they also felt quite panicky about the situation.
And also the state now has ordered, suspending the internet for 5 days from 3 p.m. today until 3 p.m. on September 15th, as 11 people have been killed in different incidents of violence in the state since the 1st of September. Of course, as you mentioned, students leading massive protests in valley areas, particularly Thobal and Imphal. Looking at the gravity of the situation, will you support the imposition of President's rule in the state?
Well, actually, as far as what you are mentioning is President rule, I think if it had been imposed in the state 6 months or 8 months back, I think things would have been come into normalcy by now. It has not been done. So what seems to be the problem is that at least you have to have a few things. See, the cookies, they say they don't want to. One thing, let me say this much, that this problem cannot be sorted out by annihilating the cookies or annihilating the Meiteis. You can't solve it by killing all the cookies or all the Meiteis, which is impossible. The only solution is through negotiation, through by coming to the talking tables. That is, but one condition the cookies are placing is that they will not have any talk unless and until Biren is removed. That's a problem. Now, for whatever reason, he still continues, and the stalemate still continues. The only way, towards normalcy will be talk, and here the central government needs to play an important role.
Manipur has a large number of central paramilitary forces, and dealing with the prevailing situation on the ground has been a challenge.
Militants, they have fired and attacked the fringe areas in between Bishnupur and Churachandpur border. In response to that, combined forces have conducted combing operations. They have destroyed 2 bunkers which was previously occupied by the militants, 2 bunkers at the Molsang and 1 bunker at the Laika Molsa. After that, there was a long-range rocket fired from the hills. Military chopper was also deployed for patrolling and conducting aerial survey.
Amid the violence in Manipur, there's also strong suspicion of the involvement of a foreign hand. What this entails and the specifics are still to be ascertained, but this was a claim that was also made by the Chief Minister during the first wave of violence as well. Another challenge that both civilians and security forces now face is the deployment of drones by terror outfits. Well, the one way to counter these is an anti-drone system.
We are going to give you a live demo of how this anti-drone system has been working, which has come up as the major threat for the security forces. You can see this is the anti-drone which is being now used by the central paramilitary forces, where a senior official is handling it. These are the exclusive visuals only for the viewers of Times of, where you can see that how this anti-drone system is locking that particular drone which is flying on top of the area, and this particular drone is now being locked, and there you can see exclusive visuals where we can see that how this drone has been locked by the security forces, and by this the drone is coming down. Why this is important? Because over the period of last few days, it has become as a major threat for the security establishment, where all these drones are becoming the biggest threat. So what this machine does, this machine locks the location in a range of 30 degree of location. This particular machine blocks it. This is called anti-drone system, and then this anti-drone system locks this particular drone. Let me show you. This is the drone which has been locked. It is not moving to any other location. And why this is important? Because we will show you visually. We are on one of the most important location, where you can see that both the terrains are there, which is dominated by both the committees. On one side, this is a hilly terrain where one committee holds a very strong hold. RPG launchers and semi-automatic and automatic weapons have been used. On the other side, there are committees which is on the mainland. So on mainland, those committees and those villages have been on the key target of all these militants, and that is the reason because of which it is taking a biggest threat. What is also worrying that the latest drone attack had happened 20 kilometers away from the chief minister's residence. So if you talk about the area distance, if it's being operated from a very good height, then certainly it will be very difficult for the agencies to hold on. This is what we were talking about, because why we have come here, because people were very much afraid that if they are sleeping inside the home at night, if the big dignitary is also sleeping, whether someone can come and drop a drone. It was happening from the enemy territories, but this is happening from Indian soil. So this anti-drone system, which is right here in front of us, has a laser technique, and the laser certainly blocks the movement of the drone, and then it can be saved. So the biggest worry for the people of Manipur, which was the drone attack, is now being countered by the security establishment. This is what we were looking for, and these are the exclusive visuals which establishes.
Priyank also spoke to those on the front lines and also the investigations that are being done to indicate the possible involvement of foreign players.
These are the kind of posts which have been made at several locations, so to keep an eye on the members of the other ethnic community. So these are the young boys who are the volunteers here, who have been keeping a watch on the others, any enemy coming towards the other side. इस नाले को पार कर रहे हैं बिकॉज इसी के आगे वो इलाका है जहाँ पे बार बार गोलियों की बौछारें होती हैं. देखना हम वापस आए हैं कई महीनों बाद देखने के लिए कि किस तरीके से यहाँ पे सुरक्षा कर रहे हैं ये जो लोकल वॉलंटियर्स हैं. ये वो यंग लड़के हैं जो अपनी पढ़ाई छोड़ करके अपने कम्युनिटी को बचाने के लिए अब यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं. वेपन है जो यहाँ पे बनाया गया है ताकि लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस को काउंटर किया जा सके. आप देखिए, अगर यहाँ से सामने वाले इलाके को देखते हैं तो एक बफर जोन कहा जाता है इसे. ये 24 घंटे यहीं पे इसी तरीके से सुरक्षा में मौजूद रहते हैं ताकि आने वाले किसी भी खतरे को भापा जा सके. Reporting from the buffer zone, we have once again come across about the infamous Pompies, which can fire at a distance of 300 meters. Last year also we showed you something like this, but now it is full of mud and dust because of rain. This is a Pompey. If Vimal, you can just focus. This is a locally made Pompey gun, which has been installed countering towards the other side. It can fire till a distance of 300 meters and can be very disastrous if there is any kind of infiltration. So how do you operate it?
We used to pull this through this thread, and then it will go automatically. And we keep this as a precautions. We put inside we put this ammunition inside, and then whenever something untoward incident happens, our volunteers will pull this, and then it will fire.
So how do you make these? Because someone would have been training. There have been questions which have been raised that someone from outside came and they trained you, made it. How do you manage to make these?
See, this is, I should say, like it's a lineage, blood in our blood, I should say.
Okay.
Because it was basically a traditional made, local made. I mean, traditional made weapons by our forefathers.
Okay.
And this is like I should say like in the year 1917 to 1919 when we fought our forefathers for this mighty British. So we have fight with this Pompey again.
Oh.
Even
the British era warfare is being used these days. Also.
Yes. It's because of the mighty British could not come closer to us. And we have been fought, and then we surrender only because we are lack in this economy.
There's also been criticism of the centre's decision to move out contingents of the Assam Rifles out of Manipur. There's a humanitarian crisis as well, with thousands displaced, and Priyank spoke to those in relief camps about their demands.
Out of 10 kids who were born in these relief camps, 4 lost their life because there is no proper medical health care facility which is available for all these people. We are here at the relief camp, which is at Kangpokpi area, and these are the makeshift houses which have been built up for these people. There are 700 families, 700 people who have been staying here. They feel that there's much more which needs to be done. Let's go. Hi, Moi, how are you? So Moe is someone who we know since long. How's life? कैसा चल रहा है यहाँ पे अभी?
यहाँ पे तो ठीक ठीक ठाक है, ठीक भी नहीं बोल पा रहा है. A bit good, a bit not fine. So I can't express.
So how do you people survive here? Because there's a small house, there's a small kid also. Many infants were born. Government has given this shelter. But don't you feel people actually want to go back to their houses, their villages?
We want to go back to my houses, but the thing is that we don't have, there is no solution till now. Since from 3rd May of 2023, till now, we don't have any, what to say, that there is no solution. So if I want to go to my village, so what I will eat, and even I won't be able going to Imphal again. And I don't know how to say that everyone knows what is going on in Manipur, the conflicts.
But the point is that 700 families are here. What I got to know that 10 newborn babies were here. 4 of them have died. What about the healthcare facility and what about the schooling of the children?
Schooling is they went to government school, and most of the children they went to only in government school, not in private school. But few of them, out of 120%, they went to this private school because their parents they are having income.
And what about those who don't have government?
Don't have, they went to government school.
And what
That's
about
it.
money from where?
Money we earn somehow. We sell some these like cosmetic items, so we used to manage it.
What were you doing? बीमार है ये?
ये 4 दिन 5 दिन से हो गया.
अच्छा.
तो अभी तक तो ऐसे पड़ा रह गया. जो थोड़ा जो खाना वाना भी नहीं खाता है. उसके बाद वहाँ तक बाहर में गया था तो ज़्यादा चल नहीं सकता है. आदमी इसको लेके घूम रहा है.
तो क्या दवाई अगर आपको सरकार की तरफ से मिलती है तो क्या दवाई मिल पाती है मैक्सिमम?
मिलता है कि थोड़ा सर दर्द है और खांसी के लिए थोड़ा थोड़ी जब बस हो गया.
पैरासिटामोल टाइप की दवाइयाँ केवल?
दूसरा कोई नहीं.
अच्छा.
बस ये पैरासिटामोल 650 और बच्चे के लिए सर्दी ये सब और ये सब सिर्फ इतना ही देता है.
तो ये कैसे ये एक जो बांधा हुआ वो एक आदमी के फैमिली के लिए?
हाँ ये एक आदमी का. हाँ? ये एक फैमिली का
एक फैमिली के लिए ये?
हाँ हाँ ये एक फैमिली के लिए. हाँ. और ये भी एक फैमिली के लिए अलग अलग ये सब. इसमें कम से कम 20-25 ऐसा आदमी यहाँ में रहता है.
इसमें यहाँ पे रहेगा?
इसमें हाँ.
तो ये जो छोटे से बांस से बांधा हुआ है ये एक फैमिली के लिए?
हाँ एक फैमिली के लिए.
और ये फिर 6 फीट के बाद बंधा हुआ वो दूसरी फैमिली?
एक फैमिली का हुआ. ये फैमिली 2-3 फैमिली का है.
3 फैमिली का?
हाँ 3 फैमिली.
और कितने दिन से 15 महीने से ऐसी?
हाँ 1.5 साल से ऐसा हो गया.
1.5 साल से
ऐसे चल रहा है.
There's been an uneasy calm in Manipur over the last couple of days, and one only hopes that the situation is brought under control and quickly.